Hi, as the shortest person here, I feel like it's my duty to lower the microphone stand. Hello. I'm looking around at some of your ages, and you guys seem like you were old enough to see the 1999 film, The Thomas Crown Affair. Has anyone seen this movie? I'm so pleased that you guys are clapping, and a few of you are looking quizzically. Look. In 1999, my 40-something-year-old mother took me and my identical twin sister to see this art heist film with lots of full frontal nudity and sex with Pierce Brosnan and Renee Russo. And despite the fact that I spent a lot of the film not breathing because I was next to my mom as penetration was happening, I was a changed teenager. I decided that this movie represented what 40 is. This is what being an adult woman will be like. I brought the outfits, and I should say, the outfits were a powder blue pantsuit with a white chunky turtleneck, which doesn't necessarily represent the taste of most 14-year-olds. And the people in my class did say, "Oh, are you dressed up as the mom from that 70s show?" But I also wore a corset over a button-up top and a pencil skirt, and my teachers thought it was weird. They did not like that that's what I was trying to go for. But I decided that's going to be me. I am going to be like Renee Russo. I am going to be a powerful, strong, self-assured woman who says yes to life and gets what she wants. And I did that. I mean, sort of. I went to college, I went to graduate school, and I traveled the world. Like, she travels the world and investigates, and I didn't get that degree, so I just traveled, and only to places where I didn't have to learn another language and they could use my credit card. So I traveled mostly to Western Europe, but I did it, okay? I traveled, and I walked around. I was fancy. I went on dates. I had a man whose name I cannot remember to save my life tour me around London, and a guy whose name I'm realizing I also don't remember who rode me around on a Vespa around Rome. And in Paris, I met a guy at Le Centre Pompidou, the modern art museum, because that's how classy I am, okay? And it was a man I met from online dating. It doesn't matter which app, don't worry about it. And we met at the museum, and we were walking around talking about our art taste. And I was like, I am saying, yes, I am in control. I am self-assured. And we sat in one of those like weird video exhibit things where it's like really dark, and you're like, I guess we're just kind of alone in here. Okay. So we like touched hands a little bit, you know? And then we walked around the streets of Paris, and we made out. And like on the Seine, the river, I was like, I am international. I am so fancy. And then he asked me, do you like to go to, what is the word, saunas? And I hadn't really thought about it. And he's like, you know, a sauna where people get together. And I was like, I am gonna live my Renee Russo best. I am gonna say yes. So we went to a sauna, which technically the translation is more like a sex club. But we went, and I was saying yes, and I was experiencing life. And what would Renee Russo do, okay? So I went in, and you get a little bracelet, and on it is a key to a locker, not like a fancy cool key, not like an 1890s key that's like a skeleton key. No, it's just a key to a locker, and you get a sarong, and you get tokens, which are good for drinks and food. Me and the guy, we make out. I am amazing. I'm doing this so well. We get physical, we roam around. Some of you look like maybe, whatever, I'm gonna say it. We had sex, okay? We had sex, and there were other people in the room, and someone tapped on my date's shoulder and started speaking in rapid French. And I will say, you are not going to remember your Duolingo lessons while someone is inside you. You're not going to. It's not going to come to mind. You're trying to conjugate and looking very confused. And he politely says, oh, they're wondering if they can join. And I'm supposed to say yes to things, but not that far. I said no thank you, I'm sorry. It'll just be in this public room. And then a bell chimes. It's dinner time at the sex club. So we go down to this bordello type. It's lots of velvet tufted couches, which I do worry about the cleanliness, but whatever. I'm wearing a thing around my waist, whatever. And what would you guys expect them to bring out for the dinner at a sex club? Sushi, it's an interesting choice. Sushi, like hand roll sushi, like the, okay. Are there any better answers than sushi? Oysters? Steak? Sausage? That seems a little on the nose. Quiche? Okay, all of those answers are wrong because a man in just like regular schmegular clothes comes in with 4 boxes of Pizza Hut. And like, I don't want to sound isolationist, but I was like, globalization is killing our country. Like, I was like, no, you know? But I was like a traveling, not rich person, so I was like, I might as well. And eating the pizza, also, most pizza has semolina flour on the bottom. It's something that separates it from the layer underneath. And of all the things to have on your fingers at a sex club, semolina flour is one of the worst. Grit is not a positive quality of one's digits. At any rate, while we're sitting around eating Pizza Hut, they did bring out like 1 baguette, and I was like, we're all supposed to share this 1 fucking baguette? Okay. But we're all talking, and the couple that had tapped us on the shoulder were sitting and talking with my date, and they were being very kind, and they were talking in English. And I was like, so like, do you guys come here a lot? And they were like, this is a place of freedom. This is a place where without our clothes, we are reduced to simply being men, and class does not matter, and it's so this. And my date was like, that's bullshit. He was very quickly like, shut up, you guys are bourgeois nonsense people, because all these people are white. And I was like, oh no, all these people are white. I'm not white. And I felt a little nervous, but also I had just had sex in front of all these people, so I should be chill. But I was like, I need to find, if I'm going to become the empowered 40-year-old that I've always wanted to be, I need to find a place where it is more diverse, and I'm saying yes to life. So I survived. That man did not kill me. I leave the sex club. I'm healthy, I'm fine. I made it back to Brooklyn where I live, and an opportunity a little while later pops up, and my friend, we are very platonic, I would never sleep with him. He's like, hey, would you like to, I need a woman to go with me, we could go to this sex club. So we go to a sex club in Brooklyn, and it is more diverse. There were white guys, and Asian guys, and black guys, and Middle Eastern guys, and they were all standing there in a line to fuck white women, because that is what was the desired look of the environment. In fact, during the sex club, it was, I don't think they called it a fuck pile, but I'm calling it a fuck pile. There were a lot of mattresses on the floor, and a lot of people were going at it. And it was a group of black women standing on the side, and I don't know if you've ever had to communicate with your eyes. I have holes too. Like, tag me, okay. It's whatever the opposite of validating is. I mean, me and those women, we did talk, and we became friends. We follow each other on Instagram now. We exchange hair tips, obviously. Obviously, I try to make the best out of every situation, but I left that party early. I was like to my friend, I was like, no, you go, you stay in that pile, sir. You have fun. And I left the party and I started to cry. And I thought about calling an Uber, but I didn't want to waste an Uber on crying. You can cry for free on the subway, so I was just like, I'm gonna cry on the subway home. So I'm cried on the way home, and I said, maybe saying yes to everything isn't the best idea. Like, maybe if it doesn't actually jive with me, even if it somehow relates to this idea that I've always tried to have of Renee Russo, that isn't the best thing for me. So maybe I'm not a yes to everything girl. Maybe I'm a maybe lady.
Kenice Mobley, everybody.